You know how it is when the void just kind of creeps up on you out of nowhere? You're not looking for anything special, not expecting much, but there it is, a book. Black as pitch, ragged edges, with gold letters on the spine, like it crawled right out of an old campfire story. Ivan stood there, holding it in his hands, his heart thumping like mad. One thought kept pulsing in his mind, but what if?
It was a strange book, written in some ancient language, but one page stood out, a ritual that promised to fulfill any desire. Wealth, why the hell not? He muttered, a shiver running down his spine. What have I got to lose? Just one wish. He lit the candles, carved a circle on the floor, muttered words that sounded like a madman whispering to the wind. 2 weeks went by. Suddenly, money, fame, success, it all started pouring in. It was like life had flipped a switch, like all those years of bad luck were just some kind of practice run. He bought a house, made friends. Damn, I just got lucky, he'd laugh, but there was a nervous edge to his voice. It all felt too good to be true, like one of those fantastic stories you hear around a campfire at midnight. But then, they started coming. The creatures. At first, he only caught glimpses, shadows on the walls, figures in broken mirrors. Their eyes, vast, black pits like coal mines you didn't want to fall into. What the hell is this? Ivan shouted into the emptiness, but no answer came. Every night, they got closer. At first, just shadows, then vague shapes whose outlines burned into his brain. Tell me what you want. What did I do to you? But all he got was a whisper, like dead leaves rustling in a cold breeze. His fear grew like a spider web, tangling up every thought. Each night brought new anxiety, each day, new signs that the world around him was cracking at the seams. Little things started to change, cracks in the walls, smeared words in a book he kept locked in a safe, the smell of rot and rust. What in God's name is happening? He muttered, losing control. He realized there was a price to pay for his wish. But what price? He wondered. They knew his fears. They knew he was most terrified of losing his mind. The price is fear, whispered the thought. And his fears began to take form, in voices, in sounds, in relentless phantoms from the past that surrounded him. He stopped leaving the house. He felt them watching, even in the daylight, hiding in the corners. His friends started to vanish, some just stopped coming around, some left town, and some. And all the while, he heard that whisper, that maddening murmur on the edge of his hearing. Stop, just stop, he'd cry, covering his ears, but the voices never went away. Finally, one night, he snapped. I'm not afraid of you. Do you hear me? He screamed into the void, but then he realized it was a lie. He was afraid. More afraid than he'd ever been. What do you want from me? What do I have to do to end this? And then, the darkness opened like a giant maw, and the voices merged into one. You will pay, Ivan. You're already paying. And he felt the world crumble around him. The house collapsed, the walls blurred, and only the darkness remained, endless, terrifying, swallowing him whole. Ivan was found a week later. Alone, in a vacant house, lost in his own mind. His eyes were full of terror, like he'd seen something beyond human comprehension. All he could whisper was, they're coming for us, they always come. But who they were, nobody ever found out.